Okay, shalom family. I got two packages in the mail here that I'm going to be opening up. We've been working on some projects with the 12 Tribes Network, and as you know, these projects take time, okay? And believe it or not, even though we have these right here, it doesn't necessarily mean we're finished, okay? Because we're always wanting to make sure that things are complete. Now this first one that I'm going to open up, I could just tell by the weight that this is the particular project that I'm thinking of. The first one being, what's that title? What Every Child Should Know from Kindergarten, from preschool to first grade. Sometimes it's not that easy getting these little things off here. Okay, let me try flipping it this way, see if that works better. Okay, yeah, that did it. But anyway, this particular project actually wasn't a part of the 12 Tribes Network projects, okay? But this was the inspiration behind this one here and doing it the way that we're doing it now, okay? This particular project here is something that we had done years ago, What Every Child Should Know. It was originally What Every Child Should Know for kindergarten. But we combined preschool and first grade into it. And so now it is more like, I didn't even have to tear the box. All I had to do was open it up like that. That was much simpler. Anyway, okay, let me just keep it. I'm gonna ruin the perfectly good box for no reason. Okay, that's all right though, family. I got my box open. Here's my book. All right. Now, we've already ordered these books before, okay? And we use them for our younger children. And there's a reason why I am showing it to you. Hey, if you don't mind, hey, you on the computer over there, why don't you get this book right here for me? It's on the shelf behind their door. Okay. Okay.
This fine?
Yes, okay. Now this is one that's been used, okay? You see all the, okay, we've been using these for some time now. So from time to time, I order a new one. I like to have a new one, okay? This one is all beat up and torn. But this is the new one right here that we have ordered, right there. You see that? This is the new one. And it comes in these boxes. And the reason why we decided to do these in print form instead of just the downloadable form, because for years we've been selling only the PDF or the ebook version of it, which is the downloadable version. And many of you may have purchased the downloadable version already. We offer it on a number of different websites. And so we decided to use print on demand because you don't have to pre-order like 200 or 300 books at a time. You can order one book at a time. So that's what we've been doing. And I just wanted you all to see this. This is a book that we produced and that we published many years ago, okay? And we just redesigned our cover, and it's more than 200 pages, and it's for ages 3 to 6. What Every Child Should Know for preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. And as a part of our Chalkboard Lessons series, some of you may have seen our Chalkboard Lessons videos on our Black Homeschoolers YouTube channel, in which we haven't done any episodes lately, but you can see some of our previous episodes, and you can see how neat it is. And many parents have told us that their children actually like to see the interaction on the chalkboard lessons because it's a different way of presenting knowledge. But in this particular book, the task includes alphabets, numbers, colors and shapes, money identification, mathematics, directions, perception test, phonics, spelling word families, simple punctuation and capitalization, telling time, and more. Now notice, This is what every child should know from preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. So this is a grow with you type book. And like I said, we've had this out for years. And the reason I'm showing it to you, one of the reasons is I wanted to introduce why we were doing the 12 Tribes Network project in the same format, where it's not just reading material, but also learning material. Okay. Now within this book, you're going to have many, many pages of great assignments and information and different things that your students can learn from preschool on up to first grade. It just takes them right into the learning. Money, I mean, all of that stuff, identifying coins, there's all kinds of information and knowledge in here. But another neat thing that we're doing, in which it's taken a lot longer than we thought, because we have so many projects. Anyone who knows us knows that we have a lot of projects we're working on. So whenever we get something finished, we're always happy about that, always happy. Okay, what we're doing, in which we've already did shorter versions for our own children, we have taken the pages of this workbook here and we've put it in video. And so the child is able to look at the book and go along with what's in the book compared to what's on the screen. So like when they're going through their ABCs, they're actually hearing the sound A, ah, you know what I'm saying, and B, but B. They're actually hearing that and seeing it on the screen. So they're able to interact with the voices. There are a number of different voices on the video, myself and my daughters and Sister Valeria and her mom as well. So again, it takes time to put these projects together. So we just wanted to let you all know about this. We also have some flashcards, in which I don't have any in front of me right now, but those are also going to be on the screen. We will upload the video to this to YouTube, okay, which will be free for you to watch. But for those of you who want to buy the DVD, as soon as it's available, it will be available to purchase with this book here. So you have the book and the DVD, to where your child can get not only the printed version, but also the audio visual version to actually follow along through. And what's funny, my our 4-year-old, what's funny about her is whenever she sees any of her little pages on the TV screen, she gets so excited. And she'll say, "Mommy, is that's on my book and on the TV? That's on my book. The apples on my book and the TV." She gets really excited to see that it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's so funny. I'm like, "Yes, honey. Yes, it is, baby. Yes, it is. Mommy, is this the same thing that's in my book on TV right there?" "Yes, it is, baby." "Mommy, is this a penny? Is this a nickel, Mommy?" "Yes, it is, sweetheart." Those are the joys of having children. They be on you like white on rice. But anyway, hallelujah. I love my babies, but they be on you like white on rice. That's a saying I used to hear my mama do years ago. Okay, now that I've gone over this book right here, I'm going to go on to the next one, which is the project that we're working on with 12 Tribes Network. And then I'm going to go back to that one, and I'm going to explain something else with that one. I hope I don't forget, because sometimes I ramble on, and I just might forget, but I hope I don't. Let me go ahead and open this box. This time I'm not going to tear the box. I'm going to just get these little straps off. Okay? Get these little straps off, and then I'm going to go right here to the end. They provide you with a little thing right there. All you got to do is flip that out. See, I ain't got to tear the box. There we go. Box intact. Okay. Now this is the project that we've been working on with 12 Tribes Network. Okay. I'm opening that. And I thank you to those who have taken an interest in joining us in producing these materials for our young people. I thank you for Sister Valeria, who helped us with editing. Once we produced this, she did go over it and do some proofreading for us to make sure we kept things in line. But even with that, there it is. Voila, family, there it is. On the 7th day, he rested. This is our first project. Okay. On the back side, it says, "This book includes the following lessons: reading and comprehension, math topics such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, kitty algebra, and more. Language arts such as opposites, adjectives, synonyms, problem solving, and more. Number search, writing, and many other lessons. Okay, here it is. This is our book. Okay, now the downloadable version is in full color, but as with the printed version, only the cover is in full color because it's more expensive to do it in full color when you're doing the print version. So because we're doing this as reading lessons and worksheets and assignments, we don't really need the color in these, okay? Unless someone wants to pay the price for that. It's quite expensive, so we're just going to opt for this for now because the whole purpose is the learning. And so here's the first project, okay? The illustrations in this book, some of the illustrations were done by myself, and some of them were done by Brother Joshua, okay? He did some of the illustrations for us, and we thank him for that, okay? And then some of the illustrations I did with digital technology to create some of the images you see in the book. Now, what this particular book is about, okay? You can kind of get from the title, On the Seventh Day He Rested, that we're dealing with the creation, the story of creation. So what we did is took the first few chapters, okay? Because with this we wanted to start at the beginning, but that's not to say that we're going to follow through the line with every subsequent book afterward. What we're going to do is we're going to go as the Ruach HaKodesh leads us, because some of you have stated that you would probably like to deal more with older students when you create materials, which is fine because we definitely need that. We decided to start where it's easier, which is at the beginning of creation and dealing with the younger children, because at the end of the day, older kids are entering into that phase of beginning or learning how to self-educate, okay? And so it's very important that we start at the earlier ages to try to mold and shape their understanding and their thirst for knowledge at an early age. And so that's what we're doing here. Now, the first few pages are reading material, okay? Reading material. And then we go on with some very unique assignments that are all based and geared around the reading material, okay? All based and geared around the reading material. All kinds of assignments in here, okay? Some of them are true and false. I'll give you some examples as you read through the story of creation, okay? And students are recalling the knowledge that they've gained from the reading material. Here's an example. On the first day, the Most High created light. True or false, okay? Another one. The dry lands were spoken into existence by the Most High. True or false? On the third day of creation, it rained all day. True or false? It took 10 days to create the earth. True or false? You see? So these are the types of questions that you're going to run into. And then we have math brain teasers in here, in which we try to keep it with, in keeping with the story of creation as well, as best as we could. Okay, for instance, the student is to read the math problem below and use the correct mathematical operation to solve the problem. A graph grid has been provided for you to show your work. Okay, so that's what this space is here for the student to show their work in figuring out this problem. Okay, now here's the problem. Here's the question. If the Most High created 750 species of butterflies and 200 of them are solid colored, how many are multicolored? Now, this particular lesson involves reading comprehension and math. And the math operation that they have to use here, of course, is subtraction. If the Most High created 750 species of butterflies and 200 of them are solid colored, how many are multicolored? So they would have to choose the correct mathematical operation to solve that problem. Okay. Synonym search. Okay, synonyms are words that have the same or similar meanings. So once the student has gained that understanding, once you've taught them and gave them the understanding of what a synonym is, they should be able to go through these lessons and find out which words have the same or similar meanings, okay, and follow the instructions that are given to them here, okay. Other lessons are antonyms. Antonyms are opposites. Antonyms are two words that mean the opposite or nearly the opposite of each other. Write the opposite of each word in the space to the right. Okay, so what would be the opposite of create? The opposite of create would be to destroy. Okay. What would be the opposite of true? The opposite of true would be false. Okay. Now, of course, some of these words will have more than one alternate meaning or opposite meaning. Okay. Let me see if I can come up with an example of that. Big, small, or a large, small. You see what I'm saying? So there are some words that may have more than one alternate, but as long as the student gets the basic understanding, either answer would be correct. Okay. For instance, loud, quiet, or noisy, quiet. Either one of those would work, noisy or loud. Okay. Now, some other lessons would be, this is the grammar time section where we're dealing with adjectives. Adjectives are words used to describe a noun, okay? The assignment here is to write at least 4 adjectives to describe the picture below. And then they have to, at this section, write a sentence using the 4 adjectives you've selected above. So this is getting them to understand what adjectives are, and to prove this, they have to write a sentence after they've selected at least 4 adjectives to describe the picture here. But then they have to go on to write a sentence using the adjectives they've selected. Okay, here's more lessons dealing with adjectives. Okay, and then this one is putting words in ABC order or alphabetical order, you see. And then at the bottom here, use 2 of the words from the list above to make your own sentences. Again, we're trying to get the students, doesn't matter, used to creating or forming sentences, writing, okay? Writing. That's why I say there's a lot of information in here. We even have a section of kiddie algebra. Kiddie algebra is something that we use to, it's fun. The students like it. They love kiddie algebra. I know my children do. It's where you're using numbers to decode, numbers and words to decode things, okay? They'll be able to read through the story and answer the following questions. Some answers may require you to crack the codes to reveal the answers. And that's what you see here. So this is what makes it fun. Okay, this is more of that. And then if you go on to the end, what we've added here in this section is Hebrew terms for kinship. Okay, this was just something extra we added. Use the space beside each kinship word to provide to practice writing the Hebrew words. Family, mispacha. Okay, dad, Abba. Mom, Ima. Brother, Ak. Sister, Akot. Son, Ben. And so on and so on. And so after they've studied this and they've understood it, okay, use 5 of the Hebrew words in a sentence on the lines provided below. So they'll have to use the Hebrew words. For instance, my mispacha, which is family, enjoys having dinner together. So that will be an example of a sentence that they can use to show that they understand the meaning of each Hebrew term for kinship. Now over here is something a little bit different. This is like a test in this over here. Use the space beside each kinship word to practice to determine if you understand the Hebrew word. Okay. What is the Hebrew word for family? The correct answer would be mispacha. What is the Hebrew word for dad? The Hebrew word would be Abba. What is the Hebrew word for mom? It would be Imah. And so, I think this is roughly about 100 pages, okay? As we continue to do these projects, we'll be able to add more pages. This was just the first one. We wanted to get this out so that you all can get an idea of the direction that we're going with this project. We want to create reading material and learning material for our young Hebrew children, okay? And we want to make these available on the marketplace for anyone to purchase, okay? Now, what I'm asking all of you who've decided to join in this project, even though this has gone through the first stages of proofreading, what we talked about before, remember we talked about actually having many of our eyes put onto these projects so that we can make sure we're putting out quality materials, okay? As I look through these, many times I'll say, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that, okay? And so that's what we're looking for. I'm going to ask some of you who have asked to participate in the creation of these projects, I'm going to ask some of you to order these books in the stage that it is now, because there is an option on the print-on-demand website that before you release it to a global market, that you could look at it, overlook it, make sure everything is intact, and if you need to make revisions, you can do that. So what that allows us to do is, as a team, we can all put our eyes on this, okay? Sometimes we overlook things because it's easy to do. It's easy to do, and this is why it's good to have a review board, to make sure that everything is being seen and everything is being changed and everything makes sense. Does that make sense, family? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to ask some of you to order this book as it is now so that we can go through it again, because sometimes when you're looking at a computer screen and you're trying to make changes, it doesn't always connect with your eyes too good. What I did when I did my book, Woman Thou Art Bound, I had to order the book several times and go through and say, okay, I need to change this, I need to change that. It's okay, family. That's what you have the review process for. It's okay to have to go through and make changes. So before we release this to a global market, we would like to have your eyes on the project so that we can all be on one accord. And the same with the other book that we had already released. At some point, we would like to have video lessons as well, okay? At some point, if Yah wills, and if we can get enough participation, because as you see, it takes longer to do projects when you don't have all of the full participation that you're looking for. It takes longer because we are working on so many things here, but if we had our team where everyone was invested in doing a little bit of something here and there, then we can definitely get these projects out a lot faster and get them to the point where they're profitable for us, not just in learning material for our children, but also for the venture that we've embarked on. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this project here. Now the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this was our first printed version of learning materials. For years we had just been printing from our printer for our kids, for our children, which is good. If you have a printer, that's good. But they really enjoyed having their own personal book that they can sit down with, get the pages all curled up, and you know. And Aliyah, she likes to, Mommy, can you sit with me? Can you sit next to me and teach me my book? I mean, she loves to just go through these things that she already knows. Mommy, this is a cylinder. Mommy, this is a square. Mommy, this is a rectangle. She loves to sit there with her book, and she's always asking me for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there to go over some things in her book, okay? And even watching it on screen. So they have time to grow with this. Like I said, she's in preschool, but from preschool to first grade, she's going to get this, okay? Now with this book, what we're doing with this one, because everything in this book is pretty much generic information, right? So what we're going to do with this one, I've already redesigned the cover, in which this is the old cover, okay? This is what we sell mainstream. But the new version of this is going to be a lot more pages. We have 208 pages currently in this book, okay? And what we're going to do now is we're going to add some Hebrew materials to this book, and we're going to redesign the cover, Okay, we're going to redesign the cover and add some Hebrew materials such as Hebrew alphabet, Hebrew kinship terms, which is in this book, and some other things that we think would be very, very good for our Hebrew Israelite children to learn. Okay, another thing is the 12 tribes of Israel. We're going to add the sons that were born to who their mothers were, who, all that good stuff. They're all the sons of Jacob. They're all the sons of Jacob, but we're going to show where they were born. I'm sorry, not where, but who they were born to, and what placement. Were they the first or second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, or 12th son? Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing, and any other material that we could think of to come up in the next book. Not sure how many pages it's going to go to, but that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to revamp this project right here, revamp this to make it a part of the 12 Tribes Network. This one will still be available in general. That's not a part of the 12 Tribes Network because this is a project that we had already previously done a few years ago. But the revamped version, we're actually going to add that. So that will be our second book for the 12 Tribes Network projects that we're working on for children. Okay, so if anyone would like to submit material to go in this book, of course with the redesigned cover. I know I'm rambling right now, I'm just trying to make a point, trying to make sure I'm covering everything. If anyone would like to submit material to go in our second book, in which we've already got 208 pages in this book, and adding more material, it would be great if we can get it up to at least 300 pages. It would be great. I understand if time doesn't permit for you all to do that. If we only have to submit what we are able to come up with, that's fine too. But it's our hope that we would all jump on board with this project of creating learning materials for our children, because it's very important that they begin to learn things from an Israelite perspective, okay? Because we've been indoctrinated for so long with things outside of ourselves. Now we need to teach our children our culture from our biblical perspective. I think I'm done now, family. Thank you for lending me your ear, giving me your time. I just wanted to give you this not so quick update on what we've been doing with the 12 Tribes Network. We have other things in the works as well. The Pursuit of Nappiness book is right at the door of being complete. Everyone who submitted their stories about their journey towards natural hair is going to be in that book, okay? The video portion of that is going to take a lot longer. As we discussed with the group, when you're producing a video project, that's not something you can just throw together, okay, when you're trying to make it available on an open market. So we're going to take our time and do that right. But the book portion of the Pursuit of Nappiness project is just about complete, okay? And we have sisters who've been working very hard on that to get everything put in line and everything put in order and all the stories compiled the way they should be compiled. We thank everyone for their hard work on that. The same with Modest Flow. Modest Flow has taken a different turn. We're not going to just make that about the maxi pads. The catchphrase that Sister Rahavia came up with was, what is it? Come on now. Reclaiming your reproductive health, one period at a time. Okay, and so we're not going to just make this about the woman's period. It's going to be overall health of our bodies. We're going to have other things that we're going to offer as well. Sister Rahavia has shirts and caps and other things that she sews very well. She's going to be offering a number of different things. Myself and others as well are going to be offering different things that are for the female body, okay? And so we thank you all for being patient with us on these projects. Again, it takes time to put these things together, and when you're working with a group, you have to really come together and everybody doing what it is they have to do within that group to make that team work and function properly. So we're going to try to apply the same concept on bigger projects, such as the community project, okay? So many things in the works right now, and it's all for the betterment of our people. It has nothing to do with trying to lay treasures up on this earth for those of you who will misconstrue our efforts, okay? This is all about teaching our children, taking care of our bodies, taking care of our families while we're still on this earth. Occupy until he comes is what the word says. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up right there. I'm going to say I love you, family. Shalom, and enjoy the rest of your evening.